I'm Reed, and you're tuned into Written Articles on Camera.
Jujuan.
What do you go to school for, if you are in school, or what did you go to school for? What degrees do you have, and if you're going back to school, what are you going back to school for?
So I have a BA in English, and I attended New York University, so I am a proud alum of NYU.
Do you plan on going back to school?
I'm strongly considering it. If I do, it'll have to be at either Northwestern University or Columbia.
Okay.
And I'll be pursuing my MA in journalism.
Are you in your career path right now?
Yes, I am. I'm in my career path at the moment.
What do you do?
So currently I am, I work for NBC Universal, and I'm what's called a page for NBC Universal. So to give some context, I am pretty much a fellow at NBC Universal, and I'm a part of this year-long fellowship called the Page Program. So it's like NBC's premier early career development program. It's been a staple of NBC's culture and a piece of its fabric since 1933 when it first started. And it is an extremely competitive program. About 14,000 people apply for it each year, and they only accept about 200 pages per year.
Do you do any extracurricular activities outside of your career path?
So I would say everything that I do is all-encompassing towards that goal of pursuing my career in journalism. I am a page at the moment, but I also do other things catered towards that, towards my overall career path. So I have my own website, Jujuan Malachi, and also I work for this boutique creative consulting company and stationed in LA called Higher Creative.
Have you always wanted to be in journalism? In journalism?
No, I did not always want to be a journalist. I initially was interested in pursuing a career in dentistry, starting college, but then I realized that that wasn't my true calling because I don't really like math or science. So I had to take a step back and evaluate what my strengths were. And I did that freshman year. And then fast forward to sophomore year, I started to take English courses because I decided to pursue a career. Well, not pursue a career, but I decided to pursue my degree in English because I felt like it would be a foundational stepping stone to something else. And when I was a freshman, I wasn't exactly sure of what that something else would be. But then when I became a sophomore, I was afforded the opportunity to do a domestic exchange program. And I was able to study at Morehouse College for a semester. And while I was there, I took some English courses, but then I had an interest in journalism because I knew that the skills that I had acquired in English would be transferable to that. So I experimented with it, and then so I took those 2 courses, and I also interned at a radio station in Atlanta called Jazz WCLK 91.9 FM. They're an NPR affiliate station, and so I was doing all of those things, and after my time at Morehouse, that's when I realized that I wanted to pursue journalism full-time.
What was or how is your journey in terms of being a journalist?
My journey, like I said, started off while I was at Morehouse, and I interned for Jazz WCLK. And then from sophomore year, I then transitioned to becoming a junior, and I came back from Atlanta to New York. And while in New York, I was afforded the opportunity to intern for this up-and-coming, really grassroots entertainment publication called The Nocturnal. I was doing a lot of in-person coverage for them. I was producing articles for their website, and I did that for a good portion of my junior year of college. And then for the summer of my junior year, I was able to intern at foxnews.com, and that's where I was able to get my first taste of what journalism was like in the corporate space. It was a bit daunting, I would say, mainly because of like their reputation and me not being familiar with Fox news, aside from their reputation, right? It being super negative. But when I was in that space, I just realized that all the content producers and reporters, they were all there to satisfy having a position in a job, and they weren't really as controversial as the brand itself. They were just individuals who needed some place to work. So I felt a lot of comfort in that space. They gave me a ton of creative control in that space. And then fast forward to senior year, I hear about the opportunity to become a page from this man that I met at a diversity awards dinner, hosted by this internship program that I'm a part of called the T. Howard Foundation. It's a national internship program that helps students of color gain internship opportunities in the media and entertainment industry. So I met him, this guy, his name was Montez, and he immediately enjoyed my energy. He felt like I was expressing to him how I was trying to figure out what my next move was coming out of undergrad, and he told me about the PAGE program. And he told me about it because 8 years prior he was a PAGE, and now he works for Today. He's a booking agent at Today. Immediately after he gave me the green light and promoted the opportunity to me, I went at it, and I pretty much was focused on that opportunity, and that's what I did. And I went through the process, went through the motions, and eventually became a page. And while I was a page, I was able to work for 3 news outlets. So I worked for NBC News, MSNBC, and also NBC4 New York, which is NBC's New York local station. And that was an opportunity for me to expand in the news world, and now I'm here, focusing on furthering my individual journey as a journalist.
So what was your inspiration, or who inspired you to get into journalism?
So I would say what inspired me to get into journalism was the fulfillment that it brought to me when I started to dabble in it during my time at Morehouse. I figured that I was doing really well in it, and that it just came natural to me. So I wanted to invest in it further, and I've been doing it ever since, and it's been an excellent journey so far. So,
how has your family been a support in this career path that you're taking?
So my family, I would say I come from a very loving and supportive family, and initially it wasn't what they envisioned me doing for my career. However, after understanding that I had a natural talent for it and that I was really good at it, they decided to support me further in my endeavor to pursue it. And they've been pretty much supportive ever since I decided that I wanted to do it long term.
What are your goals and your intentions, and what is in your, I'm gonna say, your 5-year plan as a journalist?
That is a great question. So one of my major goals at the moment is to establish a following. That is a part of a larger following that I have now. I've been able to establish quite a bit of a following, but I want to broaden my reach. And also I have quite a bit of an investment in working towards stepping out of the traditional corporate space that journalism typically is in. I'm interested in working in I guess more progressive environments that cater to my career path. So that's what I'm working towards at the moment, going from the traditional news space to more of a progressive news space.
What is your advice to any journalist that is in the making, or anyone who would like to pursue journalism in the future?
I would say don't allow other people's opinions to deter what you want to do. And I would say don't quit, because the only way you can succeed is if you don't quit. So, and also sharpen your tool set and your saw. Constantly push for growth. Don't take any day for granted. Don't take any time for granted. Every day matters in journalism, and it's a super competitive and I guess some would say saturated field, but I feel like there's still room for everybody. So don't be discouraged.